Hey YouTube, it's finally part 2 of this LED strobe light for the tractor video. It's been like 3 or 4 weeks since I actually started this little project, but I'm finally making some progress, and today I don't know if I'll finish it yet today, but maybe I'll get a little bit closer to the goal. So anyway, I want to just show you what I got going so far. Now the strobe lights that I have mounted are on each side here on the tractor in the front, and back here I already took the back cover off so you can see. Now I replaced these main lights with LED because they don't emit much heat, and this little guy right there, that is the strobe light. It's actually a pretty bright light. I mounted there with some sticky tape. It goes through this whole assembly, down and around, and meets up with this. Now the other one is done too, and this is soldered inside of this, and this wire is going to go to the front part of the tractor and the dash underneath here. Now what is going to be mounted underneath, what's going to be mounted underneath here is this control unit. This is the control unit for the strobe light. This makes it go, makes it blink, makes the strobe possible. And what's nice about it is, as I showed you before, you can slow it down or speed it up, choose between 1 flash or 3 flashes, and then there's a sole and a dual mode that we can play with. Now this is not meant to be an exterior part of the tractor, so I want to mount it up under here, underneath this panel, underneath this console, I guess you could call it, this dash console, so it's out of the elements. Now it could be pretty easy for moisture to get inside of that, so I'm going to mount it behind this with some Velcro tape, some industrial all-weather Velcro tape, believe it or not, they make it, and I'm going to put it there, and then I'm going to hook up all these wires. Oh, so that's the plan. Hopefully. That's the plan for tonight, is to hook this thing up. So I'm going to be taking this dash off, which means I'm going to need to remove the steering wheel and a lot of different parts of it, so I have a lot of room to get up under there and work. Also, while I have that off, I'm going to run these wires, and I don't know, we'll see how far we get, but I think it's going to be pretty cool when we're done. So here we go. Okay guys, if you don't know how to take the steering wheel off, it's quite simple. Just pull this little plastic top off, snaps right off, no problem, and then loosen this thing up. And mine really wasn't hand done, I did this earlier, but it's like 15/16, so find a socket that size, don't lose it, you're gonna need it later. And then that should pop off. So let's see. Let's put a almost had a blooper. There we go. Pull hard. It'll come off. See how it is? It's got the little splines on it. Okay, so line that back up when you're putting it on. Alright. Now you know, after you get the steering wheel off, there's only these two, there's 2 nuts that go through here, and that's the only thing that's holding this on. However, you're going to want to take the knob off for your throttle and just pull this little guy from what is that even, your cruise control? Yeah, I guess so. So I never even use my cruise control, but anyway, it's there if I need it. So now I can get up under here a lot easier, and these wires are for my 3 switches that I put in, and this closest switch is not hooked up to anything. This is what I'm going to hook up my strobe lights to. So when this switch is on, my strobe lights are going to come on. So I planned ahead when I put those switches in. I knew that I wanted to have some other auxiliary hooked up, and strobe lights was one option, and that's what I went with. So that's why that is there. So, alright, now I'm going to start hooking up the module to the back side of this and start wiring it so it has some power. Now, one thing that you should know is I have an auxiliary fuse box on my tractor. Paul Short actually made me a nice video of how to do that because he has one, so I thought it would be a good idea. And right now I only have two things that are hooked up to it, and those are my LED lights for forward and back. My reverse ones work great in the winter time. So I will be adding another fuse to this for my strobe lights. Alright, first thing I need to do here is run power from my fuse panel up to the switch. So the switch has power. So just like these switches are here, they have a short wire run into the fuse panel. So the switch has power, so when you turn the switch on, power goes to whatever you're using. Now, I happen to be all out of red wire. Couldn't find any. So what I'm going to do instead is in my garage I found some black wire left over. So I will be using black wire. I know I should be using red just to keep it all color coordinated and the same as what I got. Doesn't really matter. I'm just going to coat it with some red tape when I'm all done. I'm going to need 3 of these. I guess they're disconnect little spades is what they are. So what's going to happen is I'm going to make this a short wire with one of these on each end. One end will go to the switch, one end will go to the fuse panel. Similar to what we have going on down here. So I can't screw up because I only have 3 of these, can't find any more. So late at night, the store's not open. I'll get it right. Alright, so here we go. We're just going to do this right here. The wire inside, make sure it's twisted tight. Fits in there, and I like to use a vice grip to get really, really tight connection there. There we go. That is tight. That's not coming apart. Okay. These are also heat shrinkable, but because I don't need them to be, actually, you know what? I'm just kidding. They're not heat shrinkable. Forget what I said. So this needs to go from there to there. So about that long is all it needs to be. So I'm going to cut it here. Don't screw up, don't screw up, don't screw up. Don't get a second chance. Alright. Go. And the same thing here. There we go. That one worked a little better for some reason. Now, since it's my third auxiliary, I'm just going to hook it up to my third post. And there we go. Good. There we go. Now there's power to the switch. Well, not really, because I don't have a fuse in there yet. But once I have a fuse in there, there'll be power to the switch. And during wiring, I really don't want power quite yet anyway, because just in case I cross wire or something and burn out the switch, we don't want that happening. Oh, I can see my ground came out. When I ran these ground wires, I kind of daisy chained them all off of one ground, which I think is safe to do. I did it anyway, so I guess it is what it is. There. Alright, next I am ready to run the wire from the lights to this area. Of course, before I do that, I need to finish hooking up these wires because they need some soldering, and then we'll run them through here somehow up to there. Okay, Alright, I'm all set to solder this, let's see, it would be the left front strobe. So I've got this wire hooked up to this, and I just need to extend this wire a little bit. So I'm just going to let that rest right on the tip of the soldering iron. Pull the trigger once for high heat until we get there, and then adjust it right there a little better. Alright, and now all the way, just keep it warm, and that is done. So that's one. Okay. Yellow turn. These are going to get some more solder in a little bit because I'm going to join the other light to them, but I just thought I'd get them this far anyway. Come on, heat. There we go. Okay. I'll make those a little better in a little bit, but so far, got it hooked up. That's how you solder. Alright, working on this other side now. What I'm doing is slipping some heat shrink tubing over the wires so I can later come back and make sure that these soldered joints are waterproof. Alright, getting this all set to go. I'm just trying to hook up this. There's a copper and aluminum wire. So I'm hooking up the copper darker side to the black and the aluminum to the yellow, so that way I could remember. And it's 9:25 at night, and look who came to visit me. Little Brindley. Hi, Brindley. Can you say hi? Hi? Yeah, anyway. She's apparently a little restless tonight, so the wife says, hey, you want to watch her? And I said, okay. Bring her in the garage. Lots of fun. She's a good baby.
I want to say hi.
Well, hello. Did you want to be on my video too? These are my crazy neighbors. They try to come and scare me every night. So YouTube, these are my crazy neighbors. This is Elijah. He's Batman. And this is Aaliyah. She's gonna learn what soldering is. Say, watch your fingers. Now, pull the trigger, and what happens is this gets really, really, really hot. And then once it gets hot enough, it's gonna melt this solder, and then that will be a permanent joint. See it? There we go. And now it's done.
Huh.
Pretty cool. Right? Yeah. It's smoking. Don't touch it. It's hot. And I'll do the other one. But make sure that this wire isn't in the way, otherwise it'll melt it. Okay. So you're learning something? Good. Alright, done. That's soldering. Now you know. Now you want to see what heat shrinking is?
Sure.
Of course. Heat shrinking. Watching real closely. Once this gets warm enough, these will start to shrink. They're starting to shrink already a little bit.
I see it moving.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Yeah, you'll burn yourself. Don't touch it.
That is. That one's
Don't
shrinking up
touch it.
there.
You burn yourself.
That one's shrinking up there.
Yeah.
It's kind of like a fire, and you're burning marshmallows. That's what it's kind
You
of like.
could probably roast a marshmallow with this blow dryer. This isn't your sister and your mother's average blow dryer. Alright, now that joint that we made is now waterproof. Now I'm going to put this over both of them and really do a good job. I'm going to shrink this over the other ones.
See, you're not just a dance teacher.
See, I'm not just a bio teacher, am I? Man of many talents. Say hello. I'll edit this. Aaliyah's our little neighborhood babysitter. I wouldn't say she's so little. She's pretty tall. It's like, what grade are you going in? 7th grade, and you're about 8 feet tall? Oh, for goodness sakes.
I'm like 5'6".
I have some company tonight, YouTube. It's 10 o'clock.
Yep.
Bye, wife. See you later. All kinds of issues. Baby woke up. Neighbor stopped by. and I'm working in the garage, so it is what it is, but it's kind of fun. Wired both of these side lights. I ran some wire loom and I soldered the joints together, and I used some heat shrink so they are watertight. And now I am running this wire down and around, and I will come up hopefully through here is my intention, and then wire it up. And that will take care of the front ones, and then I'll do the same to the back. Alright, more later. Brindley, are you getting tired yet? Are you getting tired? Yeah? What are you playing with? What are you playing with? What's that? Alright, what's this? Is that fun? Alright, teaching our young guys. We are rolling. Say hi, Elliot. Oh.
I made my baby chair.
Well. I didn't get myself enough wire here, so. I'm doing one of these. Oh, one of these needs to go to the ground. And one needs to go to power. Okay.
Now we have to go back down?
I gotta figure it out.
Go back down.
Well, no, it stays there. I just have to extend this wire because I didn't make it long enough. That was a stupid mistake. But not a problem. We can do that. And then this is going to hook up to the module. And the module is going to hook up here and get wired in. And
we're done.
And then we're done with the front. And we still got to do the rear lights.
Oh.
I know, I put them on the rear too. Fancy, huh? It's been kind of a crazy night here. Making some progress though anyway. I'm just continuing to work. Alright, here's where we're at. Front lights, got it looking nice and pretty. Joined here. The left one, the right one, they come together. Here's the T. And that goes down alongside some other hoses that are down there, some other wire looms. I'll use some quick ties and tie them tight so they're looking good. This is where the wires are coming up at. I was going to try and get them through here, but it was just too much of a hassle, so I did have to drill another hole and run this wire loom through, which, not a big deal, it fits just fine. The rear lights, let's see, we'll start with the light is. You know, it comes through here, goes to this point, and then it's going to follow these lines right on down, and I'll wire tie all these or zip tie them all together. And underneath, as you can see, this is what it looks like right now. We got one coming in, and the rear coming in, the front coming in, and then they're going to go up to that module. So, making some serious progress tonight. Serious progress. I don't know if I'll get them hooked up tonight or not, but we're getting closer, so. Alright, more later. Alright, I'm in the process of zip tying my wire loom together so it's out of the way, it stays out of the HST fan or any other moving parts where it could get caught. So, trying to make it look nice, neat, and tidy. The more of these you have on, the more secure it is. So it's kind of my method. Put a bunch of them on. Now, when you cut them flush. Otherwise, you got sharp little zip tie ends that'll cut you when you reach it in there next time. So, this little tool, it's cuts things pretty flush and then get really close in. I like it. Works really well for this. Okay, not sharp at all. Okay, so we got a couple done. Now we're gonna work underneath. We'll get the rest of it. This zip tie is actually going through part of the frame. So what I'm gonna be doing is I'm going to cut that one and I'm going to replace it. I could just zip tie this one to it, but I think it looks better if I just put a zip tie around all three of them instead. So bring it through here and down and zip it. There we go. Now this is a really handy tool because I can really get a nice flush cut. See? No sharp edges. Just trim it real tight, so that's nice and smooth. No one's getting cut. Now I've got one here. I'm going to do the same thing too. Paul Short, I hope I'm making you proud here. I've always liked your saying, excellence is not a skill, it's an attitude. And when I'm working on my tractor and I want it my way, I want it done in an excellent way. So I just always kind of keep that in mind. Now I expect a comment if you're watching this. Get closer. There. Should be getting a good view of this. Here. Try to do it with my left hand, but I'm right-handed, so. There we go. There, nice and smooth. Now, take a look at that, YouTube. That is tidy. Okay? That is done well. I'm really pleased with that. So, oh boy, tight space under there. You gotta have little fingers. Whew. So from the rear to the front is done, zip tied. And now I just need to zip tie this engine compartment area, which is probably the most critical, important part, to zip tie and make sure there's nothing loose in the engine compartment. That could be bad. All right, while I'm doing this, I might as well show you a really good tip here. If you're running wires, whether you're going to the back of your tractor, whether you're going to the front, this is a really good spot to run wires through. Drill a hole through this plastic shell here, and you can run your wires down, and you got plenty of room. Seems to work really well. It's pretty easy to get to. There's just one bolt that goes here, and this bolts together back here, and that's how you get to it. So that's what I did. You can do it however you want, but I think that works really well. So hope you're learning something. This is the Velcro that I'm going to use to make it work. So that all works. It's scotch, fasteners, all weather. Now that's the perfect solution to this is Velcro. That's gonna hold on just fine. Off of there when I need it to. It does have a little bit of a curve in there because of the dash, but I think it'll be alright. Alright, that's up. Now this is the ground. And my ground wires have been going right here and have been working well, so I'm going to put one more on there that'll fit. And should be ready to go after that. Put things back together. Getting excited? This project's almost done. Okay, now, truth time. Hit the switch. Look at that! I got strobe lights on my tractor. Oh boy, this is an exciting day. Did it. Finished it. Well, wired it. I gotta put my tools away and put the tractor back together, but it works. That was really a fun project to do. It really didn't cost a whole lot of money. It was just time consuming, running a lot of wires from the back into the front and underneath, and making sure that they're not in the way of anything. Try not to lose anything like lens caps and stuff. But lots of fun. I think that's going to be really handy. So my lights don't work if my light switch isn't on. My key has to be on, and then everything works. Look at those strobe lights. Got strobe lights. How about that, huh? These BX Kubotas, you can spend a lot of time modding them and having fun, and again, as we all know, it's mostly Paul Short's fault, because he's made plenty of mods to his that we've all kind of copied one way or the other. Kind of proud of myself here, though. This strobe light idea, it was not Paul's. I did see it on a YouTube channel of somebody else. I can't remember who it was. And what they did is they had lights inside of the headlight lens, which I thought was really neat. But then I found these flush mount ones, and I like that idea better. So yeah, I don't know exactly how they put them in the headlights. You'll have to find that video and ask that person. But everything really worked out well on this modification. Hope you guys found this useful. This was one of my favorite mods to do on this tractor. Of course, anything with LED is kind of fun because it's bright and shiny, and we like bright and shiny stuff, right? So yeah, it's gonna be great in the wintertime when I'm plowing at night, and it's just gonna look cool. That's basically the function of this, is just to look cool. These compact tractors, the word compact, subcompact, even more compact than compact tractors, and they're tight. There is not much room to work with. So when you're running wires, just find a small space, because that's all you're going to get is a small space. You're not going to get a large space to run anything. It's pretty tight, but it's fun to work on. I love my BX. Hope you like your Kubotas as well. And if you're doing to some other tractor, good for you. But Kubotas are the best. All right, let's make that a wrap, and I'll give you a little feature presentation to my next mod, and that happens to be in this box. I don't want to just end the video right there, so this box has a mod in it waiting for the tractor, and if you can tell what that is under that plastic, that's just some diamond plate aluminum. So you'll have to subscribe and watch to find out, I guess. All right, happy tractoring.